Have you ever felt that unsettling gut feeling in your relationship? Something seems off, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Maybe it's the way your partner avoids certain topics, or how they seem unusually comfortable with things that should take time to build trust. If you're looking for a serious, long-term relationship built on trust and emotional connection, these signs could be warning flags. Today, we're diving into 10 key behaviors that might indicate your partner has had a history of multiple sexual partners. Now, let's be clear. This isn't about judging someone's past. Everyone has their own story. But if you're someone who values exclusivity, transparency, and emotional intimacy, understanding these signs can help you decide if your relationship aligns with your values. Stay with me until the end, because some of these signs may not only surprise you, but could save you from potential heartbreak. Let's get started. Sign number 1. She's overly comfortable with physical intimacy. Your first intimate moment with her felt more like a scripted movie scene than a genuine connection. Instead of the usual nervousness or gradual buildup that often comes with new relationships, she seemed unusually confident and bold. While confidence can be attractive, excessive ease with physical intimacy might raise questions about her past experiences. For instance, perhaps she initiates intimacy faster than you expected or demonstrates advanced techniques that make you wonder how many times she's practiced them. Maybe she's not shy about public displays of affection, and even your close friends have commented on how comfortable she seems. This isn't necessarily a bad thing. Some people are naturally more expressive. However, if it leaves you feeling like something doesn't add up, it's worth considering. It's also possible she's simply had more experience than you, and it doesn't impact her ability to commit. But if this sign comes alongside others we'll discuss, it might warrant a deeper conversation. Sign number 2. She avoids emotional closeness. Physical intimacy might come easily for her, but emotional connection feels like a brick wall. Have you ever tried to open up about your feelings, only to be met with indifference or a sudden topic change? Emotional intimacy is a cornerstone of healthy relationships, and if she's unwilling or unable to connect with you on this level, it's a red flag. Women who've had multiple short-term partners sometimes build emotional walls as a form of self-protection. They may have learned to separate physical intimacy from emotional vulnerability, which makes it difficult for them to truly bond. For example, if you share something deeply personal and she brushes it off or changes the subject to something superficial, she may be avoiding emotional depth. Another clue? She may not remember details about your life or show genuine interest in your goals and struggles. If you feel like you're putting in all the effort to connect on a deeper level, while she remains detached, it's time to assess whether this relationship meets your emotional needs. Sign number 3. She tells vague or inconsistent stories. Have you ever noticed discrepancies in the stories she shares about her past? For instance, one day, she mentions never having had a serious relationship, and the next, she's talking about a long-term ex. Or maybe she casually drops a name you've never heard before, only to backtrack when you ask questions. These inconsistencies could be harmless, but they might also point to a reluctance to share the full truth about her past. Let's be honest, we all have parts of our history we'd rather not revisit. But if her stories feel intentionally vague or frequently change, it might indicate she's trying to hide something. For example, if you ask about her last relationship and her answers are non-committal or evasive, she could be guarding details about the number of partners she's had. The key here is communication. Ask her directly but kindly about any inconsistencies you've noticed. Her response, whether it's defensive, dismissive, or open, can reveal a lot about her willingness to be honest with you. Sign number 4. She's hesitant to define the relationship. That if you've been seeing each other for a while, but she avoids putting a label on your relationship, it's worth exploring why. Some people prefer to take things slow, which is completely fine. But if she's consistently dodging conversations about exclusivity or commitment, it might indicate a fear of settling down. This hesitation could stem from her past. Perhaps she's had multiple short-term relationships and struggles to see long-term potential with anyone. Or maybe she's keeping her options open, even while dating you. For instance, if she's active on dating apps or maintains overly close ties with male friends, it could be a sign she's not ready to commit fully. Approach this topic gently, express your feelings, and ask where she sees the relationship going. If she's unwilling to have an honest conversation, it may be time to reconsider whether your goals align. Sign number 5. She has a history of unstable relationships when she talks about her past. Do you notice a pattern of brief, tumultuous relationships? Does she often describe her exes as clingy or toxic without taking any accountability for her role in those dynamics? A string of unstable relationships could suggest she's had trouble maintaining long-term connections. While it's unfair to judge someone solely by their past, patterns can be telling. If every relationship she's had ended in drama or heartbreak, it's worth asking why. For instance, does she seem to thrive on the excitement of new connections but lose interest once things settle into a routine? Or does she have a habit of ghosting partners when things get too serious? These behaviors don't necessarily mean she's a bad person. They might reflect unresolved issues or a lack of readiness for a committed relationship. If you notice this pattern, have an open conversation about what you both want in a partnership. She is very secretive about her phone usage. A person's phone can often be a window into their daily lives, their past, and their ongoing interactions. If your partner becomes extremely protective of her phone, this could be a potential red flag. For instance, does she always keep her phone face down when you're around? Does she quickly change the screen when you glance over or refuse to answer certain calls in your presence? These actions might not just be about maintaining privacy. They could indicate she has something to hide. While respecting personal space is crucial in any relationship, an overly secretive attitude can leave you wondering if she's keeping parts of her life deliberately out of your reach. Perhaps she's still in touch with ex-partners or safeguarding evidence of her past that she's not ready to share. When you bring up the topic, she might react dramatically, accusing you of mistrust. This could create a cycle where you're made to feel guilty for questioning her, making it even harder to get clarity. However, it's essential to consider alternative explanations before jumping to conclusions. She could simply value her privacy intensely or have work-related matters that she prefers to keep confidential. Open and honest communication is key here. If she's genuinely interested in building trust with you, time will reveal whether her behavior evolves. But if her secretive actions persist and you're left feeling excluded, this might signal deeper issues in the relationship. She's overly conscious of her physical appearance and yours. Taking pride in one's appearance is natural and even admirable. But there's a fine line between being healthily self-aware and excessively preoccupied with looks. Does she spend an inordinate amount of time grooming herself or constantly checking her reflection? Is she overly invested in complimenting or critiquing physical traits, whether hers, yours, or even those of strangers? These behaviors might hint at a past where physical attraction played a dominant role in her relationships. In some cases, this heightened awareness could stem from being around physically attractive partners in the past, leading her to believe that outward appearance outweighs emotional depth. Worse, she might unconsciously compare your looks to those of her ex-partners or social media influencers, leaving you feeling inadequate or judged. It's worth noting that some people are naturally more focused on aesthetics, and this doesn't necessarily correlate with a troubling past. But if her fixation on appearances overshadows deeper conversations or causes discomfort, it's a matter worth addressing. Let her know how her behavior makes you feel and see if she's willing to shift the focus to the things that truly matter in your connection. She shows little interest in discussing sexual health. Discussions about sexual health can feel uncomfortable, but are absolutely vital in any intimate relationship. If your partner avoids these conversations altogether, it might raise concerns. Does she hesitate to discuss past partners or practices that ensure safety in your relationship? This lack of openness could stem from a desire to hide something, perhaps a complicated sexual history or fear of judgment. Having multiple partners doesn't inherently reflect poorly on someone's character, but transparency about health and safety is crucial. If she avoids these talks entirely, it might indicate she's not ready to confront her past or ensure both of you are on the same page about protection and expectations. The absence of these discussions can leave you feeling uneasy about the risks involved. Approach this topic with care and respect. Frame the conversation as a mutual effort to ensure trust and safety in the relationship. If she becomes defensive or evasive, it's a sign to pay closer attention to her behavior moving forward. On the other hand, if she opens up and addresses your concerns, it's a positive step toward building a stronger connection. She avoids introducing you to her friends. Meeting each other's friends is a significant milestone in any relationship. It's an opportunity to connect with the people who matter to your partner and see how you fit into her broader social circle. If she's hesitant or outright avoids introducing you to her friends, it might signal underlying issues. Perhaps she's worried that her friends might reveal parts of her past she's not ready to share. Or maybe she doesn't see the relationship as serious enough to warrant integrating you into her social life. Either way, consistent excuses to avoid this step can be frustrating and raise questions about her true intentions. If you suspect she's hiding something, try addressing it directly but with understanding. Ask her why she's reluctant and listen carefully to her response. If her explanation feels genuine and she eventually makes an effort to include you, it's a positive sign. But if she continues to dodge the issue, it might indicate deeper compatibility concerns that are hard to ignore. Her priorities shift, and you feel left out. At the beginning of a relationship, both partners often prioritize each other, making time and space to nurture the bond. But over time, if you notice her priorities shifting drastically and you start feeling excluded, it's worth reflecting on the dynamics at play. This could manifest as canceled plans, emotional distance, or a general sense that you're no longer a significant part of her life. Such behavior, when combined with other signs mentioned earlier, might hint at a history of relationships where commitment was fleeting. This doesn't mean she's incapable of prioritizing you, but it does call for a candid discussion about where you stand in her life. Express your feelings openly but calmly. Let her know how her actions are affecting you and what you hope to see change. A loving and invested partner will take steps to make you feel valued. However, if her behavior doesn't improve or you sense a lack of genuine effort, it's time to consider whether this relationship is fulfilling your needs. Navigating relationships can be challenging, especially when trust and clarity are at stake. Remember, this isn't about judgment, but about ensuring you're in a partnership that nurtures your emotional and mental well-being. If you've identified several of these signs in your relationship, take a step back and assess whether it's worth continuing. Open communication and mutual respect are the foundations of any strong connection. If those are missing, it's okay to walk away for the sake of your own happiness. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like it and subscribe to our channel for more guidance on building meaningful relationships. Share your thoughts in the comments below by typing, "I deserve clarity and respect," to affirm your commitment to healthy partnerships. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.